Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth. You have to go back to the roots. Go to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about dictatorships. As you can see, my last few topics, I talk about, dictatorships in various African countries, but I didn't quite give you the genesis of how the dictatorships are formed, because most of the people that I spoke about, the leaders who eventually became dictators, they came to power through the use of a gun, a weapon. They call it a coup d'etat. But you see, in Africa, that's not the only way to acquire power. And I'm going to talk about that today, and Gambia would be a great case study because over the weekend, last weekend, December 4th, they had a presidential elections. Just in case you're not aware, President Adama Barrow is the current president, and his opponent is UDP. The guy is a lawyer who's been, he's the biggest party in the country. You have Halifa Saleh and others. But you see, in a country like that where, they just had dictatorship there, where Yahya Jammeh, who came to power through a coup, because you have to remember, since that country had independence, quote unquote, because it was colonized by the British. So you would even hear me use the state house of that country as Master's big house, because the house was built by white people, white British people from England. When they colonized the place, they used to call it the governor's house. That's what it was called back in those days. So the British colonized it, and then eventually they said in 1965, the people are like, hey man, we need to be sovereign, we want to be free, because few people went on and had education, the Western education. Because you see, even prior to the Europeans coming there, the Africans, quote unquote, because people are going to just say the Africans, but it was tribes. So the Europeans came in contact with the people in the Congo, who are Mandinkas for the most part. They had their system. But in this system, you have to, it's a caste system. There are people who belong to the kingship bloodline. So if you are not part of that bloodline, you cannot acquire power. But you see, when the Europeans came, and Banjul, the capital today, it was inhabited. People didn't live there, but it was under the rule of the king of the Combo at the time. They call him Tumani Bojang. This is back in the 1820s. So they rented this island for 99 years. People, listen to me. They didn't just colonize it. They rented it 99 years for 25 bars. Whatever these bars were used for, I have no idea, but that's what the document says. So now, within that time, the Europeans, built up the island. So the big house that you see, the state house, that was the governor's house. The white people built it. The big hospital, they used to call it Royal Victoria Hospital, was also built by the white people. So the white people pretty much, they built the island like a mini Europe. So now they set up a government, but this government is different from what they had in the interior, the way the people do the politics. So eventually the white people, what for them to stabilize the situation, because you have to understand, some people were getting bold. So there were battles happening. You have some who want to convert others to become Muslims because you know what? They disapprove of their way of life. Stuff like that was happening, and people, they were going to war. On top of that, like the place was rife, known for slavery and stuff like that. But fast forward, eventually, the Europeans colonized the place. Okay, up until 1965, and the country gained its independence. So one man, Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara, the Sir he was knighted by the Queen of England. So that's how he got that title, to be knighted. So he was the president for 30 years. The only man, nobody has ever defeated him at the ballot box. I mean, hey, some people might dispute it and say, hey, some shenanigans was happening, but I have seen some of his wins. I can assure you the man did in fact win. Because the reason why I'm mentioning this, because it's going to play into the topic we're talking about today. So that's why I'm giving you a little history about the place so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So he was there 30 years up until 94. Yaya Jammeh, who was a soldier at the time in the military, he overthrows him. He, came in and he overthrows the government and he succeeds. So what he did to begin with, the political party, because the government that he toppled, he overthrew, it's a political organization, the PPP. They were in charge for 30 years. So their power was pretty entrenched. So they have control. But now, this military guy comes in, him and his buddies, they take over. So now, for them to take complete control, they would have to dismantle this power structure that this former regime built. And they went on that mission. They banned all political parties. And Yahya Jammeh was there for 2 more years. Then he's like, okay, I'm no longer a soldier. I mean, this is Africa. You can just make up your rules. He said, I'm no longer a soldier. I'm going to contest in the elections. I know this, because if you follow African politics, you've never seen, I mean, it's very rare. Okay, let me rephrase that. It is very, very rare to see soldiers come in, overthrow the government, the sitting government, and then just walk away. That's hard to see. But as you know, he went on, he said, hey, I'm a civilian now. I'm going to run for elections. So ever since he came to power as well, for 22 years, he's been winning non-stop. So this old man, UDP old man, lawyer Usainu Dabo, he's been the one challenging him for years. So up until 2019, they put him in prison. When they put him in prison, the current president, he was in the same political party as his challenger today. So when he went to prison, they formed a coalition against Yahya Jammeh, and they beat him somehow. But Yahya Jammeh, he rejected the elections because he couldn't believe it, because the guy before him never lost. Nobody has ever beat a president, at the ballot box in that country. Just saying. Somehow, when the guy gets in, it is hard to get them out. In fact, let me play a video here of the former president, Yahya Jammeh, before this one, the one that everyone calls a dictator. Because remember, I told you, he overthrew the former government, the government that was there from independence. He overthrew them. So, hey, when you overthrow a government, you have to remember this government have support system already. So you have to suppress that support system. So that's when you start hearing, okay, the one side saying dictatorship. So usually when you hear dictatorship, it doesn't mean that is the perspective of everybody, because there is certain group that is oppressed based on whatever reason. Because even like Yahya Jammeh, I remember when he came to power, everything was mild. But now that opponents stood out, maybe truly that's just the nature of the politics, but people don't want to admit to that nature. You see, they want to do the European system, but can the European system really work there? Maybe the primitive way, how things used to be, people are acting according to that nature again. Because when the man gets in, what do? They start figuring out how to like they fence themselves literally with the people that are willing to help them stay in power. If you notice in African countries, when the man comes, they are humble in the beginning, but later on it doesn't go that way. Let me show you the former president, Yahya Jammeh, how he accepted the results and then rejected them. I'll show you here in a sec.
Well, let me make it very clear.
The fresh announcement he made on a Gambian state television throws the future of the West African country into doubt after the unexpected election results ended Jammeh's 22-year rule.
I hereby announce to you Gambians my total rejection of the electoral results and thereby annulling the elections in its entirety, and until we go back.
Jammeh had conceded defeat on state TV last week and made a congratulatory call to his opponent, Adama Barrow.
You are the elected president of the Gambia, and I wish you all the best. I have no ill will, and I wish you all the best. This is transparent. This is the will of Allah, and as a Muslim, I accept it in good faith. The Gambian people have chosen you.
His concession prompted wild celebration over the...
So that was the former president there. So the same election was this way. He completely rejected in the beginning, he accepted it. That's the phone call you saw. But eventually he changed his mind. He said the election was rigged. So ladies and gentlemen, we have the same situation once again in the Gambia. I don't know if you've heard or if you've seen, but either way, I'm going to break it all down here. Okay? So the current president there, Adama Barrow, they've declared him as the winner of the election. But you see, in the Gambia, like I said, I mean, in African countries, you see it. When they have presidential elections, that is a big deal. That is a big deal. I will show you, before the campaign, before the elections, what it looked like. Hold on. So this is the leader of the UDP. He's an old man now. Adama Barrow, the current president, used to be in his political party. So when the man Adama Barrow was elected, Usainu Dabo here, he was locked up by the former president because he was the main opposition leader. You guys know, I mean, if you're familiar with African politics, you know how it goes. So he was locked up. Then this man, he steps in and he wins, gets him out of prison. He makes him his foreign minister, but I guess he wasn't happy with that. Then he made him vice president. That didn't work either. So they eventually clashed and he fired him. So now the man is saying the election is stolen. And I'm going to give my 2 cents too. Before I get into that, let me show you.
Usainu Dabo may be struggling to work but has no doubts about winning Saturday's vote. The 73-year-old is President Adama Barrow's fiercest challenger. Dabo, who also contested under former ruler Yahya Jammeh, served as Barrow's deputy until he stepped down in 2019. He now says his former boss is a threat to the country's democracy.
He has failed miserably. The disappointment of a huge number of Gambian people and to the disappointment of our international partners. He has failed. He has, in fact, instead of pursuing the transition agenda, created his own agenda and believing that by that agenda he could.
You see, in African politics, when the guy you were in the same camp with started speaking like this about you, those are words that requires responses, and those responses do not go well. Let me explain it. Okay. For example, if you're familiar with American rap, a rapper just got killed whose name is Young Dolph. If you go and read the story and follow up how Young Dolph got killed, it's pretty much his hood politics, similar to this African politics. But African politics is in bigger scale. Young Dolph comes up in Memphis. Yo Gotti was the man in charge. Yo Gotti wants him to be under him. He won't do it. He wants to be his own man and declares himself king. Hey, from the stories I heard, it didn't go well for Young Dolph. But over here is in the reverse. This man, in the hood politics, he would be considered the OG. So the OG controlled the street, but he got nabbed by the feds and he got put away. His assistant steps in. The assistant now is the man. So the OG frees the OG out of prison. The OG comes out and thinks, hey, look, I'm the big man. I need to be in charge. But the days are not the same anymore. Things have changed. That's what happened here. But I'm going to let him speak on his confidence here.
Keep himself in power.
The vote is the West African country's first since Jammeh was forced to leave power in 2017. It is taking place amid concerns over the economy.
When we are elected, ETRR's recommendations will be implemented. We have fought against impunity in this country. That is why our supporters were jailed here. That is why our supporters were killed. We cannot now have recommendations from a credible institution such as the TRRC and then engage in foot dragging and not wanting to implement that. No, that is not us.
President Barrow has been accused by his former allies of reneging on a deal to serve as a transitional leader. Opponents are also uneasy about the continued stay of regional forces in the country.
So people, you see that, right? So the opposition, everyone said they had a lot of people. They have lots of supporters. So I'll show you another short little clip of how the politics goes when someone's side is winning.
Supporters of President Adama Barrow danced in the streets of Gambia's capital on Thursday night, cheering for the man they say changed their lives.
I was just earning a little less than $50, but now I'm earning more than $150 or $200 per month.
Gambians head to the polls on Saturday, and the party atmosphere in Banjul was for Barrow's final election rally. It's also the first time in 27 years that former President Yahya Jammeh will not be on the ballot. He fled to Equatorial Guinea in 2017 after refusing to accept Barrow's.
Yeah, Jammeh, he fled to Equatorial Guinea, as you guys heard. I'm just showing you how wild the celebrations they get, okay? But we'll see. According to people, I'm not seeing those videos. It's not translating. So there's a problem here.
Victory, bringing to an end a period of rule marred by killing, torture, and financial plunder. But even from exile, Jammeh looms over this election. In a string of speeches by telephone, he's urged crowds of listeners to vote against Barrow and persuaded his supporters to join an opposition coalition led by Mama Kandeh. Kandeh came third in the last election and has been described by Jammeh as his slave.
Honestly, he should stop that. Let him leave the election go on.
At Barrow's rally, clothes trader Babakar Saleh said Jammeh should stay out of it.
When he was here, it was so difficult for people to do business and for people to even talk. Like the election right now, how it's going, when he was not here. Honestly, it won't be like this.
But Jammeh's move has put pressure on Barrow to convince voters that Gambia is leaving its difficult past behind. That task has been complicated by the global health crisis, interrupting the flow of sandy beach-bound Europeans that underpin.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you see that, right? So, that's how crowded, the crowds go. But every political party, they have their crowds. But then they went to election on Saturday, and somehow the incumbent, he was, he was winning at huge margins. Look, I was watching it as it comes in, okay? I'm very neutral to this. But I understand the districts and the regions, how it works. I remember even when Yahya Jammeh was there, he was a super popular guy. Some people might say he rigged the elections. I don't know for sure, but he was popular despite the, other people calling him a dictator. But even he himself wasn't beating his opponent, which is the UDP, the Ousainou Darboe, the one I just showed you. He didn't used to beat them that much. But now, in this election, I was watching, man, the margins were huge. He was beating them hard, like real hard. To a point, they couldn't take it. But hey, again, it's Gambia. Some people are saying there's no shenanigans, but the celebration is not matching the numbers they are showing. So therefore, UDP's people, the people that are rejecting the election, they believe they've won. This is what they believe. And if you're following it, it sounds a bit fishy, I've seen Black Seed, congratulating the man who's been accused of stealing the election. I don't think that's a good idea as of yet. But they went out, the supporters, this is normal. They decided to go visit their political leader. Let me show you what happened after these people rejected the results. And I'll tell you how this leads into dictatorship.
Opposition supporters say police fired tear gas as they gathered at the home of opposition UDP leader Ousainou Darboe. The tense standoff happened at Darboe's home just across the street from the United States Embassy in the Serekunda area. Supporters claim their candidate was robbed in Saturday's presidential election, and they won't back down. Incumbent Adama Barrow has again been declared president. His first term came after the oppressive 22-year rule of former leader Yahya Jammeh.
We want Barrow to step down. They rigged the election. The results are worse than what was announced during Yahya Jammeh's reign. Even he didn't defeat the UDP with this margin.
Witnesses say the skirmish began after a stone was cast at the police, who then responded with tear gas and arrests. Incidents like this have been reported elsewhere. Witnesses say clashes have happened between supporters of the governing party and the main opposition.
We are not happy with the results. But not being happy with the result doesn't mean that we have to adopt measures that run contrary to the law. The laws of the Gambia have provided us the remedies that we could avail ourselves. And those remedies we must pursue.
Hopes of Gambia's post-election period will be hit-free were dashed by these incidents. Now, even the position of opposition leader Ousseynou Dabo regarding the outcome of this election suffered a setback. On Monday, one of the candidates who attended a meeting in his house while the results of the elections were rejected called and congratulated President Adama Barrow.
Election observers from both the African Union and European Union found no major problems in the electoral.
See, they reported that wrong. The European Union said they found some shenanigans. The ECOWAS, African Union, they said they didn't see any shenanigans. The people of the country said there is shenanigans. And as you guys can see, the current president deployed his forces to go out there to fire tear gas at these other parties' supporters. They weren't doing anything. So this is what I mean by dictatorship is back into the Gambia. Because you see, the moment now this man is accused of stealing the election, and he's responding this way, he has to put his forces in place to protect that which he is being accused of stealing. So that would mean what is going to be his next move? He's gonna have to shut down freedom of speech. Because I've seen it with even, the former dictator, Yahya Jammeh. He wasn't always that. He was open to people having free speech and all. Hey, you can have free speech as long as you're not criticizing him. But now, if this man is responding this way to quell his quote-unquote enemies down, what do you think is going to happen to the people who are going to try to say, yes, in fact, this election is not clean and fair? He'll have to shut them down. That right there, the dictatorship starts. The more the people talk, the more some are going to get arrested and sent to prisons. But as you know, in African politics, especially places like the Gambia, it's very easy for the people to betray you. You heard there was another political party leader. I mean, this guy was polling like under 2%. But he was one of the other people who went to the opposition leader's home for them to contest the election. They said these results are not clean. This doesn't sound right. So he said they are going to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, brother to brother, to save the country from the tyranny of a thief who tries to manipulate the election. This is what I heard. I saw it on TV. Look, when people are speaking, right, especially these diplomatic people, they cannot just come and start talking like the way people like me and you and others can keep it real. No, because you know what? They have to act a certain way and say, oh, we are the civilized human beings. So we have to use some type of speech pattern. But you see, when somebody have to fabricate these things, they are trying to manipulate you. So that's why I'm here to decode exactly what they are not telling you. So he's literally, he accepted it. They all got together. You guys know they were murmuring. They gave them middle finger and everything. But you see, then the guy goes, next thing you know, imagine, you agreed with somebody about something. You're like, we're together, we're against this guy. And then you're reading on Instagram. The guy's like, hey, congratulations, your results are good, I'm with you. I mean, come on. At least reach out to the man to inform them. But you see, especially in the Gambia, that's how the politics is. The backstabbing is crazy. So right now, you will see people who are even, I've read on social media, some of the people who are even, they say, oh, this Adama Barrow is terrible. They used to say this type of things. But they say they support a political party, but their views now is not matching that political party, because that political party did not concede or congratulate the guy and say the elections were clean. They didn't do that. But most of these people have already gone and written their congratulatory papers and put it out, because now they are fishing for positions. That's how the politics there works. So now they see that, okay, this move that Adama Barrow did is to remind the old man and his supporters that he's reminding them that he's the one in charge. That's a message. I don't think people are understanding that, because don't forget this. He was part of that political party for many years prior to becoming president and starting his own political party. You see, they already, so he knows their tactics. He knows how they think. He knows their movements, and they understand the thought process of, some of the Gambians. So now the ones that are going to completely stand their ground and reject these results and remain opposition to it, because I don't see any way of them overturning it. I don't see it happening. So now these people are going to be forever be disgruntled. So now the guy who is accused of stealing the presidential election, just like the military guy, because it's no different, because you can do your coup d'etat at the ballot box or with the barrel of a gun. You pick. So most African leaders who do it, they do it, you guys know, at the ballot box. Because, hey, who expects this man, anyone that thinks this man is just going to come and be there for the first 5 years and it's going to be over and done with, you're delusional. Because first, in fact, he was only supposed to be there for 3 years. But when he released the old man from prison, he was even the one defending him. He said, if anyone tries to come up and say, this man is only going to serve 3 years, he himself would take you to court. So you see, he got him there. Because when you come out of public and say things like that, and you stand on it, people don't tend to forget that. So now for him to protect his integrity, he cannot just go back on what he said. Because, hey, in politics, all you got is your word. So the man cannot reverse what he already said. This is why, people, you should only speak that which is in your heart, the truth. Because if you don't, If you don't, eventually you're going to find yourself in sticky positions. So in African politics, that's what's going on. So now this Adama Barrow, he brings all these, ancient African leaders, ex-president of Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, 5 ex-presidents, brought them over. And already those people are like, oh yeah, the election is free and fair. See, so now to the average eye, when they say it's not free, you think they're just gonna come and grab people. No, the shenanigans happen elsewhere. Even like I see some of these disgruntled supporters are upset at those people, saying those people are hypocrites. They are testifying to something that is not true. My friend, relax. You don't have to insult those old men, because first of all, I mean, they could truly, like, I see no reason why they would need to lie. Okay, they are reporting exactly what was presented to them, because they cannot be everywhere. They can take them to a nice, to a place where everything is running smooth. Don't think they're gonna be pushing and pulling. It's not that kind of party. This happens, if it's going to happen. I'm not saying that's what happened. I have no proof of it. I'm just going with common sense. Okay? Common sense. Because if you are going to, steal from the person, you don't have to steal from their stronghold. Now, if you do that, you're like, it makes people suspicious. Oh, yeah, Obasanjo, former Nigerian leader, he was there too. But you see what the Africans testified to and what the Europeans testified to is different. So guess what? The people in the opposition party, they are not happy with these results. They see a lot of shenanigans. So they are going to go with what the white man said, because that's what matches what they could see. That's what they could see. So I've seen, maybe some people, you're probably there in the Gambia, my African brothers, my Pan-Africanists who, understanding this is not through osmosis. I'm breaking it down for you so that what you're seeing and what you're about to see, the reason why is going to be that way. Because they're not going to overturn this election's results. The man is not going to give up the seat. It's a done deal. He's received congratulations. Even some of these people from this opposition party, they've already congratulated the man. He's the one with the money. He's got the guns. He's got the military. He's got all the forces. What are you going to do? You guys you saw the armored car. He ordered a bunch of those. They got plenty of hot water in them. This is what they are using over there in Africa. So that's why when I tell people, the Africans' problem is not white supremacy, because now this man has to protect that which he thinks belongs to him. And the other people are not going to give up. So how is he going to do it? Isn't that dictatorship? Because that's exactly what the other guy was doing. I understand some people, they just go with what they feel. Bernard said, Blackseed already congratulated him. I know. In fact, Blackseed congratulated him since on the election night. That's when because I was watching some Gambian, I was in some, Gambian social media section, and I saw somebody wrote there, oh, Blackseed, that British lady just congratulated the Adama Barrow, and the election is not even over yet. But hey, before the election ended, the people were already upset. because they started seeing the shenanigans. So if you don't understand what is going on, you are amongst the people there, I would advise you to pick sides wisely or not, because you're bound to offend them. And you see, you're going to need your own forces to come and disperse them. Because even Yahya Jammeh in the past, that's what happened. He has to, show power, and he wants to rule and control anyone that opposed him. And you guys know some elements of, tribalism, like people, I don't know. Look, I see Africans even on social media, they try to feed other people this BS about, what tribalism really is about. Look, the honest truth is, you, me, and everybody who is socialized in the Western system are the ones that, not me, but many that pretend to be offended by this. But in Africa, I don't know your Africa, but the Africa where I came from, it is normal. In fact, it is expected of you to support and go with the person just because you're from the same tribe. If you do the opposite, that's what you'll be called a sellout. This is the honest truth. You guys know this. Let me see what Global Green Book said. Interesting. Everyone I'm seeing is happy about the results. Personally, I choose not to be involved in the politics. I don't even. Oh, Golden Green, where are you writing from? Are you over there in the Gambia? I mean, if that's where you are, you can tell us what you are seeing too. But I'm just saying, like, that is very normal. So when, quote unquote, educated people that are socialized in the Western system, now most of us are programmed to only pick the negative side of it and say, oh, you see right here, there, to be tribal is totally bad. They just push out the one terrible thing. And for me, I'm not saying, you should only deal with people from your tribe. That is myopic way of thinking, because you're closing yourself away from, other people. That's not even smart. But I'm just giving you the reality, how most of the people think over there. You have to remember, most people, especially if they're from villages, they don't tend to interact with, diverse groups of people. They are within small populations. And when you're with small populations, those are the people, those are the people you interact with. You see, they tend to have, loyalty to the people that speak their language, can relate to them. That's what they go with. And some people know how to really, turn that on. And for some, it's mild to extreme, depending on who you're talking to. But in these elections, I'm hearing people, like on social media, I don't think they even understand the things they are saying. They would pour out so much of how people should support them because they are from the same tribe. And then they would turn around and say, we don't support tribalism. I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Let me see here. Fidamus, if you choose to deal with everyone, it's unfair because the other tribes will still practice. Yeah, well, I get it. Look, the point is, for me, when I see things, I see the way people behave, I accept humans for who they are. I don't try to go and try to change you, but I would point out the things that I'm seeing. So the people that get upset, they know like this is not ideal, but it is so entrenched in them that they are not even aware of it. So that's why it's best to have the conversation. Like that's why I like to know why people think the way they do, because they could have, a reason. It doesn't have to be valid to you, but at least you would understand and try to adjust yourself around that, where both of you can coexist. Plain and simple. Bernard, you beat me to it. That's what I'm getting to. How complicated Africa is. So in an African setting, it's not as easy as black and white. And the elections you bring into it, that just throws everything out of the loop. So now, like, there's going to be people who would defect and support the man in charge for whatever reason. Great. Peace reigns. But what about the disgruntled ones? Their hearts would never change. They've already heard. They've already received the message that this was stolen from them. They can never recover from that. They can never unhear what they heard. So from now on, you would see there's going to be some who would be sabotaging even the government. There could be someone working in the government. They would sabotage the programs they have, developments, or the man has to surround himself with people who are only loyal to him to the teeth. How do you think dictators are truly dictators? They have loyal supporters. They have people around them who will not hesitate to execute any orders they give them. That's how it begins. And for many Gambians, especially in the political sphere, oh yeah, they would sell. These people would change. They would change colors, like, in a heartbeat, like that. They've already started. One of the candidates, he stabbed the others in the back. You see, this is the thing. Whenever you see hyenas and wild dogs come together, or you see hyenas and lions just sitting there discussing, having nice discussion, you know something isn't right. That's what happened here. None of these men agree with each other, but they said, oh, we're doing it for country. You know how some people would say we're doing it for the race. They're doing it for the country. But then the next minute, the other guy just stabbed them in the back. See, in fact, during the campaign, this is the same guy who they put him as the head of the TRRC. This man was talking about how educated he was, how he dresses better than the president, he looks better than him, he's got lots of money. A lot of baloney. So you can't even take these politicians seriously. The moment I heard the guy talking about this, I was like, my man, this is not about, looks contest. Because people, if it was about looks, I would have been running for president myself. No doubt, because I know those guys, I would beat them any day. But it's not about that. It's about something else. So the man in charge, the president there, if you look at him, he's building his power, solidifying himself as the unwavering man in charge. That's what he's doing. He's letting people know nobody will challenge his authority in the country, because they're not about to overturn this election. I see some people having hopes, jumping. They're like, oh yeah, we're taking them to court. The courts belong to him. Like people like, oh, they said it's democracy, it's government. They can tell you whatever they want and do the complete opposite. What you gonna do about it? Absolutely nothing. So, and he won't be able to keep the people quiet. He cannot do it in a friendly way. So now, dictatorship is back. Mark my words. Let me see here. Our movement say, SFL has a distinct advantage over Barrow as lawyers. They will be looking for irregularities and loopholes in the current administration in the coming days. Man, I don't know about that. You see, the truth of the matter is, I used to say, okay, it's not just, they say power corrupts, right? But power corrupts absolutely. Hold on, I'm saying it backward. Power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. If you have the absolute power, it's easy to be corrupt. It's easy to be a dictator. And the way, it is laid out, it is very easy for, African, especially places like Gambia, to be a dictator, because you have the absolute power. And now you've got people challenging your legitimacy. You have to find ways to protect it. You see? But even myself here, from what I've seen, there is some irregularities in that election. I've seen it through the way they were announcing the results. And then they stopped for a minute. You guys remember that happened here in the United States too. Now this is the new way of how they are doing it. People don't get it. Think about it. You're in charge of, making yourself king. You have all the levers in your hand. Why would you give that advantage to someone else? Very few people would do that. That is against man's natural instinct. Let me say, Global Green say, yeah, I don't see that happening. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that this is cash only country, mind boggling. Exactly, Global Green. I'm telling you. Imagine, it's cash only, right? How things fly through the crack. Because you see, I'm not saying cracks don't exist everywhere, but the cracks over there is wide. Is wide. There is no real system in place. So the only thing that the people can go by is what they are seeing. So when you want to, if you look at it, that's why I come here and I break it down. Because some people, they judge these places according to your Western standard, your Western reasoning, thinking like that's how they do things there. It doesn't even translate. It will sound foreign. But if the few people that can see it, you are the problem. You will be the problem. So that's how it works. So even in the Gambia, they have bunch of the soldiers they are foreigners. They brought in foreign troops from Senegal next door. In Senegal, the same thing happened. They tried to challenge the man's resolve. The people they came out, the response was exactly the same. He deployed, you know, the tactical force unit of the police, the riot police, send them out there to, wash them with hot water. That's how it works now. So this is why the man, if you think about it, he did not support, a constitutional change that would give him term limits. That right there should tell you that the power is absolute. The constitutions, they are made around one man. It revolves around one man. Plain and simple. I even heard, you guys know about the era that we're in, the pandemic. So they gave lots of money to some of these African countries, Gambia being one of them. So a lot of the people, they are not educated. They don't know what's going on. But this money was given as aid to give to the people of the country. But you see, like Barrow, the president, he went out there, bought rice, lots of things for people, distributed it, and he said he's the one giving it to them. So I don't know, maybe that also can play a role in the election shenanigans, because you see, in most African countries, it's not that hard to buy people's vote. It's not that hard. For many, just a bag of rice. You give them a bag of rice, some cooking oil. Oh yeah, you got their votes. Because they're not seeing it for anything else. They just are thinking about, hey, what they're getting today. So it's possible those people too totally believed in him. I mean, all I'm saying is something isn't right. It just isn't right, and it matches the feelings of the people on the ground. Just as I've shown you here earlier, how they went out there to show their grievance. So think about that for a minute here. Let's see, Benna. Imagine if African countries had something like the Second Amendment. Oh man. Well, they do have the Second Amendment, but only if you're speaking in the right direction. Like, you cannot say the election was rigged. That would be violation of this. Yeah. Because when you violate that, you get your Second Amendment rights in these countries. I mean, all the civil wars that you heard, that was when the people got their Second Amendment. Those rebel groups, they acquired their Second Amendment, and the place was in flames. Because you see, the things that people say, they have to somehow defend it. So most of these Africans, you see, not exercising their First Amendment right, because in those countries, only one man have both. It's called the president. Well, here comes Mimi. Mimi is asking me a question. Mimi, let me Let me drop the link for you to come and ask me these questions. Let me see. See, I found a Gambian who, she said, how is this election rigged when there was on the spot counting? I get that. Apparently, from the look, I heard they were changing things around. I don't know how they did it, but as soon as I find out, I'll come here and let all of you know. We have Mimi in the house. Welcome, Mimi.
Greetings, everybody.
So, Mimi,
I think I came in late.
Yeah.
But I just see somebody talking about, or you saying the election was rigged, and I'm trying to ask how.
Yeah. Well, I saw where the opposition leader, 3 of them got together. Now only 2 contesting the election. They said it wasn't free and fair. And
that's not true.
Well, the European Union said there was some shenanigans too. They said it in a diplomatic language. But so Mimi, you're telling me that these people are just sore losers. They cannot take these margins. They are just making it up. So the election was free and fair.
Correct. We have sport counting. Everybody have an agent.
I get that. Yeah, but
everybody will count. Okay, the Europeans say that we have some stuff that we would need to work on, and that is true, but they didn't say that the election was rigged. There are certain things that Gambia needs to work on, which we accept. So why would we even care what the European Union said? They were just there to observe, just like the ECOWAS. And before, nobody come to Gambia to observe. But this election, they let everybody come to observe.
Okay,
the election
Mimi,
was free and fair.
Mimi, wait a minute. Okay, Mimi, even during Yaya Jammeh's time, and Yaya Jammeh is more popular than Adama Barrow.
Correct.
You want to tell me that even Yaya Jammeh did not used to beat UDP this way. Now Adama Barrow is doing that just in one election.
And I will come there. Because I never supported Adama Barrow. You know that.
I don't know
why UDP, I always said that. I wanted somebody else to win. I would support Khalifa. Me, I'm dead Khalifa.
Mimi, now
but
I know.
I know that. Okay, let me finish. Okay,
I know you are not being honest.
No. I'm being honest.
Gambian people, when they say to you,
I wanted
I'm Khalifa
to win before even Barrow. But let me finish. The reason why UDP loses, and they did that to me, they intimidate people. You cannot say anything about them. You cannot put your opinion or nothing. They bring, election of intimidation, and Gambians don't want that. Because when I call my people back home trying to say, hey, go vote for Khalifa, they said Khalifa couldn't win. And if UDP win, it's not going to be easy, because they will tell the wall of people, we will deport you back to Senegal. The Fula, we will deport you back. What? Who does that? Who tell you that you own Gambia? You are aware of that.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
But Mimi, you and I both know we've never heard, lawyer Usainu Dabo, the party leader, or their executives, talking this way.
Thank you very much.
But what I'm saying,
some people came.
But what's that have to do with
change the narrative? But people, you're talking about Gambian people. That's their fair. And everybody was talking about that. Like even myself, I experienced it. You remember when they're doing all that crowd thing about the campaign? And one of my friends, he's CA. Okay, he came and put another video about some UDP supporters saying that,
No, but
oh,
what
we
I'm
were just
saying,
there for the no, let me finish. Let me finish. I'm getting there with you. Let me finish. And he put a video saying that all this crowd is not relevant because some people just go over there for the ambience. So when he put that on his wall, some UDP supporters came trying to insult him and all that. I'm like, what is all this nonsense? He didn't say nothing wrong. He didn't insult anybody. He's
okay,
just
fine.
stating his opinion.
Mimi, okay,
They
fine.
start insulting me, my inbox.
Okay, but Mimi, the
Just
insults,
because I put my
the
opinion.
insults, Mimi,
These are
the
the things that
insults.
people are fair.
Okay, Mimi, fine. I'm saying, right? Okay, let's just go. Let's go with your theory. The UDP people online, people are scared of them. Fine, right? But I'm talking about like in Gambia. In the Gambia, you have places where is UDP's very, very strongholds. These are UDP center, you know, and if the election was in rigged, right? Why is the celebration so dull? Can you hear me? Mimi, can you hear me? I think we
Can you
lost
hear me
Mimi.
now?
Okay, there you are. Mimi, can you hear
Okay,
me?
I'm listening.
So Mimi, I was asking you if the election, like you said, was in rigged at all. I mean, you're standing on
Not at
that.
all.
Fine. Okay. So
I
why
am standing firm on that.
okay, so
They cannot take
why
it
is
because
it
of the
but
margin. That never happened.
no, okay,
But the
fine. Let's
silent
say
voters were waiting.
oh Gine, huh?
Not Guinea. Du Ben Guinea. Nini silent voters. Kaima wala
Oh
Afro
no.
Even my
Wait,
people, I was telling them not to vote for Barrow. And everybody was telling
but
me we are all going to vote for Barrow because what we see here, if
Mimi,
Barrow don't win, the insults are too much and we're not gonna take it.
Mimi,
Let's like it or
okay,
not.
are
We
you
need to
Mimi,
work
you
on
want to tell
ourselves.
me, Mimi, you want to tell me that Barrow has more support and voters than Lawyer Dabo in Badibu, in Brikama and Combo South. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, the election showed it,
It,
and then everybody was right there
come
when they were
on,
counting. I mean,
come
that's your
on.
opinion. If you don't want to believe it, that's on you,
No,
Afrodamus. But the election, there is no way they're gonna cheat you when you have your two agents right there. And now they're telling me that okay, there are some foreigners that were voting. UDP were having agents when we were like giving out the voters. They were intimidating people on every place that they were making voter card to
so
make
why
sure
did
that
Barrow
only
wait,
Gambians are going to be voting in this election. This election is the most clear election. There is no rig. You can come up with everything. They said they're going to court. Okay, let's wait for that. Let's see. Just because of European Union said that we need to work on something, that doesn't mean that the election was rigged. We all know that there are certain things that we need to work on our like IEC.
so
Everybody know that.
why did Barrow send his paramilitary to go and attack UDP supporters,
Okay,
just visiting, their party
I'm
leader?
gonna come to that. I didn't agree with that. They could have given them that day to go over there and grieve or do whatever they want to do. But
But
we cannot come.
Why was Barrow paranoid to do that? Is it because
There are
because
so many. I live right there, Afrodamus. Do you know that I am Dabo's neighbor? I live right there by the mosque. My family live over there. So there are other people, there are businesses that were closing all over the place. Like I said, I did not agree for them to do the things that they did, but it needs to stop. They cannot go to the streets. They cannot go to the streets every day saying that the elections are rigged. If they believe that the elections are rigged, that's their constitutional right.
so
Go to
what do you
court.
think? So what do you think about three of them coming together?
But now
SFA
they're all
and
backing out. I talked to
All
SR Needs.
the SR file
I
backed out.
talked to SR Needs.
Is it
Based on
because
what the
SR
news told
is
me.
SR just a opportunist, a sellout?
No. Listen, SR didn't even know that they were going out there for that. You know
Come
how
on,
Gambians.
come
No,
on.
okay, let me finish because I talked to SR Needs. Listen, because when that happened, I was
Come
so
on.
disappointed in him. Can I tell you what the news told me? She said, when Dabo called SR didn't know what's going on because in Gambia, our tradition is when somebody older than you call you, you have to go over there with respect.
Mimi.
So when
Mimi.
SR went
SR
over
is a
there,
grown man. Nobody can make. He's a smart
and
man.
he accepted.
Look.
He accepted. He
Okay,
was wrong for that, and he accepted. He said what he did. He came the next day and tell people that what he did, he made a mistake, and we need to move on from that. And that's
Mimi, you
that's
have something against. You
I
have
swear
something
to God.
against UDP.
Okay, you can say that if you want to, but like I said, I wanted UDP to win than Barrow.
No, you don't.
But
no,
now,
you don't.
but what they're doing right now, I'm not.
But Mimi, don't you
what they're
think this is
doing right now.
this is the beginning of dictatorship?
No, the Barrow is nowhere near dictatorship.
Really? Because now, wait,
if you
okay.
go to my Facebook, you go to my Facebook page, you will see I'm always against in Barrow.
Okay,
Every single
wait.
post, you
Okay,
see how I
wait.
against
But
him.
Mimi,
But we need to speak the truth.
But
and
Mimi,
like
if
me,
you
I
steal
speak my mind.
something, if you steal something, you know, you have to protect it, right?
Okay, then let them go to court. Donald Trump
No,
feel
you
like
see
the
what-
election
you
was
see-
rigged. He went to court. Let them go to
Mimi.
court. That's their constitutional right, Afrodamas. And nobody telling UDP don't go to court. But we have to speak the truth. Let people speak their mind and stop the politics of intimidation.
But
and
they are
we
not,
need to work
but
on
they are not,
ourselves
Mimi, they are
on
not
this tribal
intimidating.
shit that is going on.
But
And
what I'm saying,
I'm not saying only the UDP is not a Mandinka party, it's everybody's party. And I was UDP before, like anybody. You see me 5 years ago, my people were telling me, do not even come to Gambia, because I always write on my Facebook. And I was on UDP side all the time.
so what made you change now?
What made me change? Because of the politic of intimidation. They don't let people have their own opinion. I'm like, I cannot.
But who is they?
They are supporters.
They are not. UDP is not in charge.
I'm not saying the UDP executive are doing that. I'm not saying that Dabo is doing that. Dabo know my dad very well. We are all neighbors. But the supporters are the people that came and changed the narrative. And Musajan told them that for the people by the people. He told them that the UDP surrogates need to come out and reassure people, because based on what he saw on social media, it's not going to help them. Because some of their supporters and militants are coming there, changing their narratives, insulting people. Everybody's inbox is full of insults. And that's not good on their side. But they were so confident to a point that they don't even care. But it hurts them. Because the margin is too much. Yaya Jammeh never win them like that. We were
I know.
all like
That's what.
And I understand.
But you know, Mimi, give me a second, Mimi. I look at voting patterns, right? Would you agree that UDP have grown more since Yaya Jammeh's time, right? They've acquired more supporters.
But
wait. Would you
more too?
Okay, fine.
You know why you did,
but let me finish. Let me
like
finish
that?
here. Wait,
because
let
they
me
were
finish.
loud.
So
they
Mimi,
are silent majority. The silent majority is the people
hold
that
on.
vote them out.
Mimi, you're talking about social media beefs. The people in the country, okay, let's say up country, Badibu Kiang and all these places, you want to tell me, I mean, like, fine, I get it. People have issue with UDP whatsoever, like you're saying. But these places are UDP strongholds. Even in Yaya Jammeh's time. I know
Yaya Jammeh time.
No. The numbers prove it. The numbers prove it. The numbers prove it.
one side of Baribu, Dabo win Barrow, but the match it wasn't even a lot. It was maybe
How do
100
you
or less than
explain?
100.
How do you explain? Combo South, Brikama. How do you explain all these things?
So you think I don't want to bring any tribe here, but you think that the people are the only people in that side, Combo side? Do you know how many Manjagos, how many Fulas are in Combo side now?
I mean, okay,
Do you
fine.
know?
Let's
Do you know
say,
how many of them are there? And plus, like I said, I just don't want to go there because you know how it is right now. It's very tense with this tribal shit that is getting on my nerves. Because half of my cousins are Mandinkas, and I'm just like, don't want to get involved in anything like this.
yeah, but
I don't want to go there. But Combo South is very mixed. UDP people are not the only people over there. You have
no,
everybody over there.
I get that, but I'm just saying, how like they are not. I'm not saying everyone there supports them, but even some of the votes, like let's say SFL, right? He was getting like 50 votes, 70. Even I could pull more than that.
And I understand. It was like that with me, but at the end of the day, it is what it is because they have taken.
So Mimi, are you telling me that?
Let me tell you something. You are right there when I was counting, and you are UDP. I was right there.
But you can't. Don't you think they can announce? Wait, you don't think it's possible they announce? Wait. You don't think it's possible for them to announce something completely different from what those, the people on the spot have? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Each party have two people representing.
I get that. Yeah, but in the final,
how are you gonna cheat me when we all stand right there?
Well, they have the evidence.
Write it down.
Wait, they have the evidence.
We are waiting for the evidence. We are waiting. They said they have evidence, but they still didn't bring it out. We are waiting for the evidence right now. That's what we waited. That's why I said let them go to court. It's their constitutional right.
So where is this?
Well, you cannot come here
and say
the election was rigged without any proof.
Okay, where is the silent majority celebrating at?
So you're not in the Gambian community. That tells me that you are not too involved in the Gambian community. Because the people that I see that are celebrating on my Facebook, everybody's out now. There are so many people, and Afro-Damas, like I said, I have so many relatives in Gambia. I get involved with them all the time. I talk to them. I did not want them to vote for Barrow. And I call each
That's
and
hard
everybody.
to believe.
No. I swear to God. I swear on my child. I never swear on my child. I'm just telling you that. I tell them to go vote. My brothers are UDP. I told you we are neighbors. My brothers are UDP.
For me, it's not about the party. I'm just.
Can you believe that I was supporting UDP 5 years ago?
But are you open to the idea that there is a great possibility what they are claiming did happen?
Let them prove it.
No, but I'm saying, are you?
Show us.
But are you open?
I can't be. No.
Are you open to the possibility?
I am open to the possibility, but it's not. It cannot happen. It's not possible when even your surrogates.
You're speaking in on both sides of your tongue. You can't
listen to me. Do you see one UDP agent that were in the pool that say that that's not what we have? None of them say that. It's their surrogate and some of their supporters that are bringing that narrative. I didn't see anybody say that the results are different from what they have. None of them say it. So how is the election rigged? Prove it.
So
now
are you
going to court. We're waiting.
So I get that.
Come on, let them go. Let them accept defeat and go congratulate Barrow and then move on. They need to go back and reevaluate themselves, reflect on themselves so that they can come back strong.
Don't you think this is what made Yahya Jammeh a dictator? Where he knows because conscience they have to protect that which they stole. Staying in this you see the house here, Massa's big house here. Let me play it for you. the fight for Master's house.
What is that? I'm trying to use my laptop, but it's not working.
Mimi, I don't know what, you know.
Well, affidavits, the thing is, at the end of the day, like I said, they have, I mean, to take it to court, that's their constitutional right, and nobody intimidating them. They were intimidating people.
So what I'm
Let
saying,
them go to court and solve that issue. If they
so
feel like,
aren't you
if they
worried
feel
about,
like,
aren't you worried that, you know, these people's rights would be trampled on eventually? You know, they wouldn't be allowed to voice out, you know, their grievance
nobody
about
can do
this.
that. No, one thing I like about UDP, nobody
but
can do
Barrow
that to them.
already. But what
They
I'm
have
saying though,
strong surrogate people, and I know some of them.
yeah,
Their
well,
surrogates
there
are
is
very smart.
repercussions.
Very smart. No, they can't. They can't do that to them. They cannot intimidate them. They cannot do nothing like
if they
oppress
don't
them or nothing.
comply, wait, if they don't comply, just like in the Ajam's time, right? They didn't comply to his dictatorship.
But Yahya
And
Jammeh is a dictator. Barrow is not a dictator. I've
so-
never seen anything Barrow did.
So, but
do
Mimi,
you see how
do you
they
know?
insult
But do
Barrow?
you know
If
what
that was
makes?
Yahya Jammeh, all of them will be like, you know what I'm saying.
But do you know how dictators are made? They don't just get up and say they are going to be dictators.
I don't think Gambia we're gonna go back to dictator days. Those days are over. People are woke now when it comes to stuff like that. Those days are over. And you know why I said that? When Yahya Jammeh was dictating Gambians, is because there was no social media. People like you and me and other people are here, and the reason why the reason why Yahya Jammeh was gone, because of
Look,
social media.
Okay, no, see, here's the thing. You are saying 1 minute you are open to the possibility. So what if Mimi they check it out and they in fact find some shenanigans there?
Then let them go back to the polls. It's as simple as that. But what I'm saying is,
But
that's
don't
not
you
gonna
think?
happen.
But the people are saying they have the right numbers. The numbers that they saw and what was announced are two different.
That's what you hear. Economics, I think you are smarter than this. You
No, I
have
mean
that
I'm
from
not saying.
social media.
That's why
Did
I
you
said that's
see the
what.
proof? Did you see the proof? You didn't see any proof. So how are you gonna say that people are saying we all had it, but we don't see it? Show it to us. And like I said, none of the agents said that. It's
So
the
why,
militants and
Mimi?
the
So
supporters that
why
are.
do you think UDP and Mama Kande, these people would come together in SAFA and say such a thing?
Because of the margin. Because nobody ever win like that in Gambia.
Mimi,
And I
that's why
told you why.
I said Jine.
Well, I'm not a Jinenga, but at the end of the day, like I said, don't bring politics of arrogance, because people ain't having it no more.
You
And
mean
that's the
all?
reason
You
why
mean all those people in Gambia who are not
I'm
even on
pretty sure
social
if they hear me
media?
right now, my inbox will be full of insult. I wish I can show you my inbox. Just because I have my and the thing is,
you
and nobody
already
gonna
have a
stop me
bias.
from speaking my mind. No.
So you have a bias against UDP,
Listen
against
to me.
because of their people
Because of the
online.
way I
I'm
saw them
speaking on
do it.
facts, but let's speak on facts. What
Okay.
what
Let
makes
me
sense?
let me go back to it. I don't think you are listening to me. Like I said.
Let's forget about
Okay.
what the supporters do. Let's
Okay.
focus on what makes sense.
Okay, let's focus on what makes sense. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me that have my own opinion speak.
Yeah, but how are they stifling you? They can say what they want. All I'm saying is,
Well, what does that have to be with my mom and my dad?
Okay, let's forget. Okay,
let's talk about the things that are happening. But don't bring my mom and my dad
Okay.
insulting
Well,
everybody from my generation that you will never know. I'm not gonna be sitting here talking about my. You see my last name, you think I'm not Gambian. You're telling me that you're gonna take me back. You don't even know what my grandparents did for Gambia.
yeah, but what I'm
And I
saying
am not
is,
gonna say my grandfather was there, my uncle. We have generation of people that were in history of Gambia, but they don't even know me. These are the
yeah,
things that they said because I
what
was
I'm
having my
saying, Mimi,
mind. I was speaking my mind.
Mimi, you are focused on the people that offended you. But
Not the people that offended me. I'm just saying, you bring
okay,
it. Why
let's
do
talk
they lose?
about
I'm not the only one. I am
let's
not
talk
the
about
only
what
one.
makes
It's like they
sense.
did that to everybody, and people were scared that
All
if they
those
say,
people,
I swear to God, you. This is why I said, Afridamus, you are not into the Gambian community
no,
to
I
speak on
am.
this.
I
But
am.
the way I'm involved in everybody platform, and I see that all these platforms that we all come together and talk, I don't see you there. And all those platforms that if you have your mind, speak your mind, they will come and intimidate you. And everybody was watching. The Gambian
So you
people
have a
were
bias.
watching.
You have a bias against UDP. It
This is the
sounds.
reason. At the beginning, I supported them.
But
I was
how is
UDP.
that stopping you from speaking
Because the fact
speaking the
that they
truth?
wouldn't let people talking. I'm speaking the truth, Afrodamus. I'm just speaking by experience. You speaking what you see out there. I'm speaking
Yeah,
by
but you're
experience.
still you're focused on the supporters. I'm talking about the votes in the Gambia, because Gambia majority are not on social media. They don't know
But
what's going
but
on there.
that's true, but they are watching. They
But
are
how are they
watching.
watching? They're not in social
Afrodamus,
media
all
land.
this stuff we people will take it and put it like a TikTok thing, and then they share it on
Because I
WhatsApp.
talk
There
to
are certain things that I don't even know, and my people from Gambia send it to me. There are
okay
certain things that I never know, and they will send it to me. Oh, this is what happened
okay.
in the city.
Let me give you an example, right? Okay, I don't support any of. I'm not anywhere, right? So I'm
You are
looking at it from
UDP.
open mind. From the time I'm listening to the results, right? I'm not even discussing it with anyone. The way I saw it, that's how these other people saw it too. And I'm not the smartest guy. SFL saw it the same way. Mama Kande saw it the same way. Even you saw it the same way. But you guys want to keep a blind eye to the truth. Are you there, Mimi? Mimi, are you trying not to tell the truth here? Oh, I think we lost Mimi's connection there. Mimi, call back. But ladies and gentlemen, you see it. This is the beginning of it. This is how the debate is going to go for many, because the people now that believe this is a free and fair election, imagine what their conversation would be like with the people who don't believe that. Okay, we have Mimi back again. Mimi, are you there?
I'm here.
So Mimi, are you trying not to tell the truth here?
I don't know what do you want me to say. I speak my mind. I
So
don't care if they start telling me I'm negative, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You know me, go back and see on my social media.
so Mimi,
I'm
this
always
time
against
around,
it.
Mimi, this time around, you and Juliet are on the same page. I saw Juliet announcing
And I
that
was like,
Barrow
she better
won.
stay away from Gambia elections because if the UDP people see her doing that, they will. She better stay away from it because she
But
doesn't. I told her. I mean, told her the other day, like, you don't know how
you
Gambian
guys are
election is very nasty. Stay away
on the
from it.
same page.
I
You
am
guys,
Gambian. She's not Gambian, so she needs to stay away. I'm
well,
Gambian. I have a voice of speaking. She
but what
don't.
I'm saying, okay. So you are sitting here saying without a shadow of a doubt the election was free and fair, no shenanigans? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah. Let them bring the proof.
No,
Till
well,
they prove, till the court of law, they show us the proof, then I can think otherwise. But based on that, yes, I'm gonna go with what we see. Because the thing is, everybody have an
but
agent. Everybody
why
was
would
there.
all these smart people, right? Why would all these smart people, the
Afrikaners,
Gaboanis, why
they
would they
want to
come
take a
out?
door by meti, door be dafa meti, door by meti.
Mm,
They understand now. So I will feel the same way. But let them go back and reflect and reevaluate more again. Ñu nekk di understand that ñu nekk di back and forth li loo xam ne mënuñ koo proof. If they can
But
prove it, let them go to court.
Mimi, where's the proof that it was fair though?
Everybody was there counting. The agent count.
But okay,
MPP
everyone.
agent
But
count,
what if the?
PDOIS count, and everybody write the numbers, and the
But
number
you see, you're taking
is
one
the
side.
same.
You're
No,
taking one side story. You're not looking at both. You're not looking at both sides and balance it and see what makes
Afrikaners,
sense.
I cannot sit here and say the same thing. Like I said, let them go to court and let them bring proof. If they bring
But
proof, Gambia.
but
One thing about Gambia justice lately, I don't doubt the justice system over there. Like, CA just win a court with the IEC, and they're gonna go back. Yeah, they win. One thing about the Gambian justice lately, they are very fair, and we have
okay,
very competent lawyers. You
that's
know
fine.
that.
That's fine. That
So let
you
them
know
take it to court. Let them take it
that's
to court.
fine.
It's as simple as
That
that. So, but you
but
are not gonna come and tell us that the election was not free and fair, and then you're gonna hold everybody like trying to make the country like hold back the country. We need to move on till the proof is here. So this is not about anything. I just want us to be reasonable, and
but you're not being reasonable because you're trying. You're not even like you're saying where's the evidence, and I'm asking you, okay, there is no evidence
do you have
of
the
this
evidence?
being.
Do you have the evidence?
Well,
So
I
how
don't.
can you prove that? So how can you prove that the election was rigged if you don't have the evidence? Because when they go to
Because
court,
the people
they have to bring all that.
the people that you pointed out, the people who were present at the on the spot counting, don't forget that these people were also taking pictures of the results and sending it to their party leaders.
Okay, let me tell you
So
something.
they
Do you
have
know?
the
Do
numbers.
you know? Do
The
you know
numbers they
before the
have.
election come, they change all the results and have their own results? My uncle is UDP. The results that he gave me and the results that IEC bring is two different results because they have their own thing. Somebody will come and change. You know how it is. Everybody was having their own results till IEC came out. But like I said, the agents didn't say that. Let them bring their agent, and the agent proved that there was a rig in the
You said
election
Barrow.
and
Wait,
give
you
out
said
because no, Afrodamus, everybody signed. Before they
I
admit
get
the
that.
results, UDP will sign, NPP will sign, PDOIS will sign. Why did they sign then? Come on, man.
See,
let's be honest to ourselves. Why would you sign? You count and you sign that this is what you guys have. And now they came back and say, no, that's not the right results. They rigged it. And they already signed and say that this is
no,
the correct number.
but you see what you're doing here. You ask me a question, and I'm giving you things that would logically make sense, and you
And
keep
I'm trying
moving
to
the
be,
goalposts.
no. You're not being logic today.
Okay,
Because the thing is,
okay.
you said,
Here. Let me
how they have
hold
different
on.
numbers? And I bring the logic. I said, the reason why IEC have the
But
accurate
do you
number
have
is
proof that
because,
UDP didn't even sign?
are you kidding me? Are you
No,
kidding me,
someone
Afridamus?
they did not.
That is not true. They sign. If they did not sign all that thing, they wouldn't announce it. They
Okay,
called it.
so
Listen, let me finish. They called the agent when they know that Barrow was winning. That's when they start telling the agent to get out of IEC. By that
Mimi,
time,
you see
majority of the
how
results
how you
you
are
know what?
only making
Like I
it
said,
that
I'm
your story.
gonna sign out because I don't want to debate on this, and then you don't have proof. Let them go to court, and then we'll see if the election was rigged. Everybody will go back to the polls.
Mimi is a Barrow girl. I see that.
I am not a Barrow girl, and people
It's
that know me
okay.
know that I am not a Barrow girl. Everybody knows that. If anybody, I was going to support PDOIS because that's the only party that I see that are very genuine.
But let me say this
I'm
before
not
you leave.
UDP, I am not NPP,
Let me
and I
say
wasn't
this.
even supporting anybody.
Hold on.
But
Let me
like I
say.
said,
Hold on. Let me say this. How dictatorship has returned, because now Barrow has to find ways to defend this quote unquote victory, and you know, just like
and
Yahya
one thing,
Jammeh, and so goes the problem again.
and one thing you guys are not gonna do is sit on social media and saying that this election was rigged when nobody didn't have a proof to show
See,
after this election.
wait, are
No,
you
no, listen.
now you're threatening people?
I'm threatening you.
Why are you threatening?
You ain't gonna do that today. You you're not gonna do that today unless you bring your proof. And I bet you we're gonna come back here again. We're gonna come back and then we're gonna talk about the same thing. And I will tell you, I bet you I told you before.
Mimi, it sounds like it sounds like you're the one that want to take people's freedom of speech away, and you're accusing the UDP people. You see how
the
you
thing is,
told me
you're not
what
being
I
fair
shouldn't.
today.
Huh?
You're not being fair today. You're not.
No, I'm just explaining, what I've seen, from understanding Gambian politics, how the voting goes, you know, um, it just somehow happened. Other smart people were seeing it the way I saw it, and we didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, and I feel you. I feel your pain, but just take it like a soldier. I feel you. Just let them take it. This time, I mean, at the beginning, I was like, wow, how can Barrow even win in Badibu? Because Badibu is a stronghold with UDP, and we all know why. But don't you know that Barrow is doing something in the villages that nobody ever done? He
Like
start
what?
like no. I'm just saying. I'm not
See,
giving
you're
Barrow a
all
props.
over the
No.
place.
Listen. Barrow has a lot of things to do. We all know.
Mimi,
We
you're
all
all
no.
over the
Okay, let me
place.
finish. Let me finish. Somebody said he started making roads to them, and then maybe build. I don't know. I'm not from that village, but somebody said that from that village, telling me
What's
that
the name
that's
of the
the reason.
village?
Say that one more time.
What village? What's the name?
Like Badibu and all of those areas. I don't know. I'm not from there.
You remember
Like I
that
said.
IEC made the same mistake with Yahya Jammeh last election too? That's
But
why he changed
irregular,
his mind.
no, listen, but the irregularities will be
Okay,
there. But
so
this time, IEC didn't even have any issue with it. With the Yaya Jammeh one, they admitted, but with this one, they didn't. They make sure that that's why they were not even
Mimi
calling the results on
she
time.
sounds just like one of my friends that I know. This man, last 2 weeks ago, there was Barrow
I'm
is the
pretty
most
sure.
corrupt. Barrow is the most corrupt president. Barrow is evil.
Yes.
Today
No, and there are so many corruption in
Today
Gambia. That is
Barrow
true.
Today, Barrow is a generous man. Barrow
I
is the
didn't say
king
that.
of king. Barrow is Mansa Musa reincarnated.
I
What is
never said
going on?
that. If your chat, they are very genuine. If they did anybody hear me that Barrow is very is Mansa Musa and all that? I didn't say that. I said Barrow have a lot of things to do, and there's a lot of corruption in Gambia that he needs to work on. I just saw yesterday that he bring a corruption bill, and I'm like, okay, it's too early to say anything. We're just gonna give him some time and see if he's gonna put some like a mandate or anything about it, because I'm not going to speak about it right now just because you signed a bill of corruption.
Like someone just asked, like I said, he's good. Dictator is here because he doesn't presidential terms. He can run for as long as no one can beat him.
Oh, and I know that
There's
one we
no
need
term
to
limits.
that one we need to work on. That one, we're not
Yeah,
gonna let it
sure.
go this time. That one, even Barrow said it. He said he's here for time limits, and like we're gonna push him to bring time
And
limits
then
because we cannot.
now rigging election is added to his file. It's not
Okay,
gonna go well.
whatever. You can
Hey,
say whatever at the end of the
look.
day till you have proof, like I said.
I'm here. I'm here to report on what
I
makes
see you.
sense.
I
And
see. I see you have some people. My UDP people in Cove. I'm not MPP. I'm just here being reasonable. Until you guys bring up proof, then we can go with that, my friend.
I never knew that you were this biased.
I am not biased. I'm not.
You are not even open to seeing even the truth, even a little bit.
Okay, tell me the truth, because I was waiting
Well,
for the
the
truth,
thing
and you
is,
beating by the bush.
no.
My
Well,
friend.
I'm saying, like, I'm listening to the results. They are coming in, and I'm like, hey, this doesn't make sense, you know. And I was like, I did all my, turn my thinking caps on. I was like, man, this has to be Ginny. But then I was like, nah. I was like, nah, let's see. And then
Everybody was like that.
here comes, other people, other sensible people. They are like, yeah, something isn't right. And then here comes Mimi telling us
If I was a
everything
UDP,
is
I would say the
cool.
same thing, because do you see the crowd that they pull every single day? Their crowd move like crazy. They have loyal, people. They have loyal people. But at the end of the day, there are other people that lives in Gambia too. And they are the majority. Let's just accept it.
Did you see what Don Langdon wrote?
Don
He said,
London, I see he's like negative
no,
woman,
he's
show
in
your face.
Gambia. He is in Gambia. He said there were many irregularities with this election, starting
Don,
with the buying of ID
Don,
cards, which he
you see?
personally saw.
Don, UDP was there when they were giving voters card, going to each post and making sure that no foreigner is not gonna have a Gambia voters card. They're the only party that was doing that. Even MPP was
But
not doing that.
you see,
But
you're doing
listen, when they were doing Africans, let me just finish. You remember months ago when they were registering for voters card, you don't see them going to each station that for registration, that they make sure that if you are not a Gambian, you're not gonna have a voters card. Don't you
Mimi,
see that? Do you see anybody
that's
else doing
fine,
that?
but how is it possible?
So how
Like
did they give
Barrow,
out?
wait, Barrow got almost. He's got 400,000 votes. Even Yahya may never got that.
Silent majority. The
This
silent
doesn't make
majority.
sense.
Okay, it is cold, but let them go to court. We waiting. I'm trying. You making me sound like an MPP person. Let me
I'm
let you
not.
go.
I'm just listening because all I'm saying is, like, you don't even want to focus on the election, which is what turns leaders into dictators.
But
Because
I want
wait,
UDP to understand why they lose
see,
too. Let's tell them the truth.
well, we don't know that yet. Okay,
Okay.
we don't
Yeah.
know that they lost. We don't know that. But the thing is, the idea, you are not even open to seeing it the way other people saw it.
African, the people that I talk to, and even some of them are UDP, they know what hurts them. They said it. I know people that are. I told you, my brother is a UDP.
But Mimi, more
And I
people
know
believe
some.
that.
No,
More
listen. And
people
I know.
believe that the election was rigged than
And is
the
they
other way.
right? Who believe it? It's the only. I didn't see NPP people, even SFR people were going against. Even SFR niece and nephews were telling him to accept defeat. The election
No, that's
wasn't
why
rigged.
SI
So
is not
who else?
qualified. He's not
Then who
qualified to.
else? Who else is saying that other
SI
than the
is
UDP
not.
people?
SI
I
is
didn't see
not qualified.
PDOIS because at last minute I was supporting PDOIS. I wasn't here for anybody, but last minute, what Halifa sells me about the system change, I can align myself with that.
Mimi,
And I was no, let me finish.
let's
And I'm
talk
like, okay,
about
this is the only person.
relevant politicians.
Okay.
Let's
So
what
you're
I'm
telling
saying,
me Halifa is not relevant? Who is more
but,
relevant
but
in politician? And
he did not win. He's not in the top right now.
and that's fine.
So
And that's fine. And we all know why he did not win. Because when I go back, like, I'm originally from Banjul. My parents are Banjulians. I'm a Banjulian, even though I moved to the
and
compost
you want
later.
to tell me that Adama Barrow won Banjul?
100%. You know why? I'm a Banjulian. My grandfather was a mayor. My uncle was a mayor in Banjul. So I know how Banjul people vote. When I call my people and tell them to last minute to go vote for Halifa, they said no, they're not gonna. They like Halifa, but they're not gonna vote for Halifa.
That's fine.
And I am not gonna go there.
Let's talk about this election shenanigans.
So that London that says who am I? I reveal myself. Go and check in Gambia history what I just said.
But
generation
Mimi,
of mayors
what I'm saying, right? So fine, you are sticking with your story.
Exactly. If you call it story.
But the majority of the people that are not happy with this,
let them go to court, Afridamus. Let them go to court. I said it from the beginning. It's their constitutional right. But what do you want us to do right now? And there is no proof. To say, oh, there was a rig in the election, let's go back to the polls, and there's no proof. I'm not understanding what you want.
Well,
am I being reasonable?
No.
Okay. So now
because
tell me now tell me what they want them to do.
Well,
tell me
what
are
you are
expecting?
sitting. What I'm saying, you have created your own reasonings, and you said flat out, there is no rigging in this election, and this doesn't match what the majority of the Gambian population is saying.
Who is the majority? Tell me who is the majority?
The majority who are silent
the majority
because
I know didn't say that.
I have
Tell
checked.
me who is okay.
I have checked.
Because of the people that you follow, you think they are the majority.
No, I'm talking even back home. I talk to a lot of people.
Afridamus, I am more connected. I'm not saying it. I know you are connected to Gambian social media, but I know I am more connected to Gambian social media than you, and I know what we discuss.
So
I'm just saying.
So if you guys, so if I don't get it from you,
no. The people that I'm connected, they are UDP, they are NPP, they are PDOIS, they are ESA, they are CA. The CA executive, I know all of them. The PDOIS people, I know most of them. NPP, I know some of them. They're whatever surrogate in Banjul is my uncle. I know them. I know some UDP. Listen. My brothers are UDP. Okay. So I know all of them.
But what's that have to do with the rigging?
Okay, but because you said that majority of the people that you know say that the election.
No, I don't know this. I don't know this.
And I'm telling you who are the majorities. You don't even know them.
Mimi, I spend my time investigating these things.
Okay, let's keep on
even you, your page. I probably already read what you guys are saying.
Okay, go ahead and read my page right now.
Wait, I'm fair and balanced. I listen to both sides, and I listen to what the people on the ground back home, what they are saying. In fact, it's shown. I played the video here. Adama Barrow throwing tear gas at
that
Dabo's
one we already
people.
talk about. That one we
Yeah.
already talk about.
No,
I think
no, what I'm
that was
saying.
too soon. That was too
No.
soon.
Well,
And I
well,
condemn that. I
well, let
condemn
me,
that
well, what I'm
fully.
saying is, so you could say, you know people, I'm sure you do. All of us know somebody, but you know, the tally, I mean, this is unusual, like tons of people. I'm
Before they
talking
win,
not only in Gambia,
before
in
Adama
the
Barrow
Gambia.
win.
What I'm saying, even in the Gambia, I'm not telling you, I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking on the ground. The people are not with the results.
Of course, there are some people that are not with the results
No,
because they were
a
not.
whole lot of them.
After that, that's not true. And I can debate with you on that one. That is not true. It's not a whole lot of them.
Yeah, Barrow
I'm
doesn't
pretty
need a
like
lawyer when he's got you.
how can a whole lot of them when every other party said that the election was free and fair, but only one party said no now. Even SR backtracked and come back and said that it was free and fair, and SR is a lawyer. So how is the majority saying the election was rigged? That is not true. Let's be
Let me see.
honest to ourselves. That's not
Hold
true.
on. FBI Nigel said, I'm out the loop. Is this another good old Western puppet who's about to end up with 30K square feet home in Virginia? Yeah. It's the fight for Massa. It's the fight for Massa's big house over there, and
Well,
eventually, you know, a home in Virginia. That's
I'm
right.
not getting into that till we see the proof. If he have I'm not saying Barrow is perfect. The guy needs a lot of things to work with. He showed us a lot of incompetent, and I think he need, like this second time, he needs to bring on board people that are competent, that are gonna do some work. Because next election, if he doesn't do anything, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go.
Why don't we get this one out of the?
Because this one is all the Gambian people already spoke. They have spoken.
Jine Wahning.
They have Jine Wahun. Gambian senior vote Munaharilen. Let's move forward.
You know,
I'm gonna go.
you are. I
wanna
see
keep
why.
me here. You
I see.
leave me alone before why UDP the masaga.
I see why you have issues with those people.
With people.
The people you're complaining
UDP
about.
people, oh,
Yeah.
I love you. Go. I love you.
You're
I'm
a
not with
problem.
anybody. Honestly speaking, let me just tell you the truth. This is what I think that they need to do. And if I said that, you said, oh, how can you say that that was just on social media, but it hurts them, my brother? Let's be honest to ourselves. Let's just let them go back and reflect and reevaluate. They have UDP executive, they are very smart people. They get people from the diaspora like Gambians that went and study and come back like very competent people. And I was looking forward to see what they can do. But their militants and their supporters ruin it for all of them. And they know that. And I'm like moving forward right now. I hope they will come back and make sure they're not gonna tolerate that nonsense.
Wow, that's another.
Because if I'm telling you, if anything, I see more competent people on UDP than NPP, no doubt. But at the end of the day, MPP win, let UDP see, let's come together and see how we can develop our country and move on till next election.
Mimi, you know, it's hard for me to believe.
Okay, don't believe it, but
what you're saying.
Gambian people said they want peace. They don't like, well, better.
Mimi,
Gambian people spoken. They said they want peace. They don't want politics of intimidation. And I'm not saying Dabo did it.
You know, you're
Dabo
the first
is a
person.
good guy.
You're the first person I hear that UDP people intimidate.
And this is how I know you don't follow Gambia.
I follow.
No, you don't. I swear, my bro, you don't follow Gambian platforms a lot. You don't, because if you really follow the Gambia election and the Gambia platforms, you see me not being active on YouTube, lady.
Did you see what Aji wrote?
On what did Aji wrote? Well, Aji, by when Mati Rekrema. aji xam na leen moo
Mimi,
tax aji mu ne
so
waxut.
Mimi,
No, but at the end of the
I
day, we need to
follow.
be honest. We need to be honest.
But what I'm saying, what's that have to? What I'm saying is, I'm looking at it from, where this is headed.
Well, let's see. Let's see. We cannot tell right now. And
because
the
when you
reason why they
still,
always insult me, Adi, the
well,
reason
you're
why they
making this.
always insult. No, listen. Let me just say this. The reason why they always say something to me because I refuse not to speak my mind. Because I'm not gonna be saying, oh, if I said it, they're gonna insult me. No, I could care less. Come and insult me. I don't care, but I'm gonna speak my mind. You're not gonna stop me. You see what Aji is saying? Aji knows what's going on the social media. You don't even see Aji talk about anything about that. Aji don't even go there with them. Aji keep it to herself and do what she gotta do. Aji don't talk about nothing about election. But people like me, for some reason, I just cannot keep my mouth shut. And why should they stop me from speaking the truth? You see what I said, the politics of intimidation? This is the reason why I say it. And Gambians said they don't want that.
So when you say that, the election is free and fair, are you speaking the truth?
After I'm not, because I haven't seen anything that's gonna give me a doubt
Well,
or
that's
say
not
anything till
that's
they
not
prove
what I
it.
asked.
No, okay. What did you ask? I'm listening.
I said, do you want to say that like the election is free and fair, no shenanigans, and that's the truth?
Maybe there are some irregularities, but that doesn't mean that Barrow did not win. I'm not gonna say I wasn't there, but based on what we see, that everybody have an agent, everybody counted, and everybody signed and say that they have the same numbers. Why would I come here and say, hey, that's not true? When UDP signed, MPP signed, PDOIS signed. Unless you can prove otherwise, then I can say, okay,
so
let's go back to the polls.
So like MD2V4 is saying, he said Barrow, pretty much he's saying that Barrow was installed, because all these people, the quote unquote international donors have accepted it.
Everybody accepted. When you saying that,
well, that doesn't mean
EU
that
did
it's
not.
right.
EU just said there are certain things that Gambians need to work on. And Gambia, we cannot have like polls like the United States because we have high level of illiteracy. So we have to use the marble. You understand? So they want us to improve on certain things, which I understand that we need to do. But other than that, I didn't see anybody. The EU said that they rigged the election. Go back, it's on YouTube, and then you type in EU Gambia election before you come and tell us that EU said that. That's what some of them are saying. But who that F is EU to tell us what our election is going to be like or who win? And EU didn't even say anything like that. ECOWAS was there. AU was there.
You see, when
AU was there too.
You
ECOWAS
see, for
was
me,
there. ECOWAS
here's the
didn't
thing.
say that.
You see,
AU didn't say that. Even EU
see the
didn't
difference
say that it was rigged.
the difference between you and I keep it fair and balanced. I'm not on anyone's side.
I wish,
but still, I
somebody
enjoy.
from the
I enjoy.
UDP perspective can come
Yeah,
and to your
I
platform
enjoy.
and tell us
Yeah.
why the election was rigged, because they were making their own numbers and all that. But the thing is, it's gonna be so hard for me to have a dialogue with them because they don't want to listen to different opinions. That's the thing, and I'm not gonna be sitting here going back and forth with them. I don't even have the energy. I gotta go make some money.
Well, thank you for coming. We hear what you say, and we'll take that into perspective as well.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm open-minded after that much. You know that. And if there is anything that they went to court and then we find some kind of irregularities, let them go back to the polls. It's as simple as that. But I doubt it, because the thing is, everybody have an agent, and
So
all
the
the agents were
celebration goes on, and
Oh,
the
why
Benetins are
not?
gonna. Okay.
Yes, they win. Let them celebrate. It's not like just because of you guys lose, other people are not. gonna celebrate. They need to have game spirit. They take election very personal. This is not personal. After election, we need to move and see how we can develop our country till next election. We cannot hold back on these people, and you see how the chaos is on social media, and it's very unfortunate right now what is going on. They bring it down so dirty and nasty. And I'm not talking about UDP. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about everybody on both parties, UDP, NPP. They need to stop. Because the thing is, Gambia, we need to move.
I'll bring a UDP person another time, find one so they can come and defend
and don't
their
bring
position.
Bring somebody from NPP, because I am not from NPP. That's the thing. Bring somebody from NPP and they will come and do their debate.
We will call you in.
No, I don't have the energy for
you can
that.
you can just come in. We know you're not MPP, but just pretend, okay?
I'm not pretending or anything. I'm just gonna speak my mind. If
Sure.
you bring open-minded UDP, I mean, yeah, but bring somebody from NPP, somebody I can or somebody from PDOIS too. I'll ask somebody from PDOIS who can come, and maybe you guys can do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
And
maybe
that would be nice.
not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Nigerian topic.
Okay, maybe next week, because
Yes.
like I'm pretty sure even when they go to court, they cannot fight this one after that. But I understand will be the family. And at first, Munumoko wanna understand man small bopper, because like I imagine being Yaya Jammeh Samusulena winning no. So if I was in that party, I will have some doubts too. How does this happen? But people are trying to tell them. Listen now, Musa Jengsa Wahnalenko. He gave them that advice. I was rooting for them, because at the end of the day, I wanted this Barrow to go. I always talk about it with you. I wanted this Barrow to go.
I'm not sure.
And I wanted anybody but Barrow. But at the end of the day, hey, win is win. What am I gonna do? Kill myself? Like the Nigerians say, I'm not gonna kill myself. Oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna move on. Bye. You have a good.
Enjoy me.
And I know that none whatever is insulting me. Tell him to
No,
go eat his
they're
cake.
just saying hello.
Okay. Tell them to
Goodbye.
go eat their.
Goodbye. Let's see. Audrey said Nigerian topic. Audrey, you'll have to wait. How are you just jumping to the topics that you think are gonna be coming? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can see, even though Mimi, she tried to put up a good fight. She masked it, but she obviously supports Barrow. I mean, like I said, I'm just laying it out in a factual way. Because anywhere you go, even during the Jammeh's time, one group of people are saying he's dictator, another group of people said no. So, it looks like the tide is shifting that way, because the people, not all, but most, are saying there was shenanigans in the election. So if that's their sentiment, now the man have to put things in place to try to control the people that are speaking against his government, because the bottom line is that's what they are all about. Let's just keep it real. Rena said Mimi's against tribalism. Sure, I mean, I would imagine. But ladies and gentlemen, that's been the show. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a very interesting topic, and I can't wait to see you guys. Enjoy.